Whoa. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live for this July 21st. It is already? We're zooming through July. We're going to be in August pretty soon. This is another episode of Rants About Tech Live, episode number 125. We're getting up there. We're moving towards 150. I'm hoping to get there before the end of the year. See if we can do it. Thank you guys for joining me. I see Mr. Mike is in the chat already. We got eInk in the chat already. Thank you guys for getting the chat started and engaging pretty early. I appreciate you guys. Today's a light tech day. I mean, there's not a lot of tech news that happened over the weekend, to be honest with you. So we're going to talk about my top things that I thought were interesting. We're going to get into some eInk stuff. We also have some maker stuff happening too. So I'm going to go over my 3D printing woes or triumphs, as it were. I did some resin 3D printing over the weekend, trying to get myself acclimated to using that machine, the Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. It's a long name for a model. It's a long model name, but we got through it. We got some things that I learned on that particular machine. I wanted to show you guys some prints as well, so we're going to get into all of that. But first up, let's get into some of the things that are making me happy today. Today is National Junk Food Day. If you are a junk food connoisseur, today's the day. Enjoy your junk food. I often say that there should be, or should have been, or someone should make a restaurant just for fair food. Like, think about it. A restaurant where you can just go any time of the year and get fair food. Oh, that'd be great. How's it going, Mr. Aaron, or Mr. Media? Thanks for joining me. We got Aaron down here from 2530 Media. eInk and Mr. Mike as well in here. But yeah, I often thought they should have made a fair food restaurant. Go anytime you want. Get your funnel cake. You know what I'm saying? Get your candy apples. Get your cotton candy. And if you're me, get your charcoal fired pizza. I said charcoal fired. I meant I don't even know what they do. Open flame pizza. It's a way they char and bake pizza that's really unique at the fairs. I love it. Oh yeah, bloomin' onions. We got any bloomin' onion fans out there? Because bloomin' onions are the bee's knees, and I go to the fair just to get a bloomin' onion and cotton, well, not cotton candy, but candy apple. That's my ritual there. But if you're a junk food junkie, today's your day. Go ahead and enjoy your junk food. Matter of fact, if you've been holding off on enjoying that junk food, today's the day. Don't hold back any longer. Liberation Day in Guam, celebrating the World War II deoccupation of Guam. So that's an awesome thing they're celebrating there. Marine Day in Japan. I always not forget, but I never think about Japan as an island and how much the ocean means to island nations. So Japan celebrating Marine Day today, a way to celebrate their dependence on the marine life there and how they are living or cohabitating that area with the marine life. Awesome thing they're doing there. Japan's awesome. I went to Japan, stayed there for a couple of years. It was hot as crap. The humidity was just off the chain. Matter of fact, the humidity in Japan is probably on par with the humidity in Louisiana. And Louisiana is in the Gulf of Mexico. So the humidity stays high there. You walk outside, you're instantly sweating. Japan is almost the same way. Matter of fact, it might be worse. It might be worse. Anything big out there, you guys? Those are the things to be happy about today. But do we got any big news that's happening out there? Anything exciting happened to anybody in the chat over the weekend? We're up for talking about any kind of tech news today because we're light. We're light on the tech news. But let's jump right into the tech news while we wait for anything that you guys got to say about this. The first thing we got up here is going to be AI companions. So we're gonna just touch on these things really quickly. AI companions. Almost 75% of American teens have used AI companions to study. A new study finds. I use an AI companion. I don't really look at it as an AI companion, to be honest. But I use AI for a lot of stuff, and to me, they're companions in that way. I may not be like talking about my deepest, darkest secrets with them, but you know what? I'm talking about my deepest professional secrets with them. It's kind of the same thing. eInk says, what do we got here? What do we got? eInk says, y'all need to all come and visit the Minnesota State Fair. It is the best. Minnesota State Fair. I haven't heard of the Minnesota State Fair, but I'm all for state fairs, eInk. I love a good state fair. I really do. I try to go to the Minnesota State Fair every year. Oh wow. Wait, are you both guys in Minnesota? eInk and DeRock? Because if DeRock, if you live somewhere else and you're going to Minnesota to the fair, it's got to be a big deal. And why haven't I heard about it? So that's interesting. But anyway, yeah, AI companions being used in everyday life. Do any of you guys use AI companions out there for anything, for your professional work? When I say, now I understand people use AI for a lot of different things at work these days, right? But I mean, if you're companioning with an AI tool at work, like, okay, me and this AI tool collaborate on this particular project every day. You know what I mean? And it remembers what I was talking about. I can go back to it and say, hey, add this new information there. Speaking of which, I want to talk about Notebook LM and how I'm using that currently. That could be a companion, right? That could be an AI companion. I mean, people are feeding Notebook LM everything. Like, I just started feeding Notebook LM everything I got. I literally just started doing that. I've been using it just for podcast purposes on things I really didn't understand. I would just use it as a way to get clarification on things. But lately, I'm using it to get deeper insights to information that I've collected. And I'm like, okay, I got all this information. What am I going to do with it? I'm just going to throw it all into Notebook LM and see what it tells me. DeRock says the fried food is excellent, but consistently my favorite thing there is the hummus. Wow. Huh. Okay, DeRock says I'm in Chicago, but the drive is totally worth it. Biggest state fair in the States. Wow. Wait. Minnesota has the biggest state fair in the States? I did not know that. I did not know Minnesota had the biggest state fair in the States. That may be worth a trip to Minnesota just to see the U.S.'s biggest state fair. Listen, I'm a state fair junkie, like I said, for the food. They got to have something unique there that I'm gonna like. Absolutely. Thank you guys for that tidbit. So it looks like I said, a lot of teens in the U.S. are using AI companions, and for good or for otherwise. This was a surprise to me. We talked about this last week as well, but new studies are coming out like all the time. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these stats we get. The nationally representative study of 1,060 teens aged 13 to 17 concluded for Common Sense Media found that 72% conducted for Common Sense Media found that 72% have used AI companions at least once, while 52% interact with such platforms a few times per month. Common Sense Media is a leading American nonprofit organization that reviews and provides ratings for media and technology with the goal of providing information on their sustainability for children. The survey revealed that 30% of respondents use the platform because it's entertaining, and 28% are driven by curiosity about the technology. I don't see. I mean, obviously, teens using AI chatbots I don't see it as alarming. I guess it depends on how people are using it, right? I think social media is way more damning than the AI is, I mean, in my opinion. So if people are letting their kids use social media, I mean, you're feeding them to the wolves anyway, so you may as well just go all out. I mean, what are we complaining about with the AI companions? Am I oversimplifying this, chat? Are there dangers here that I'm just not really seeing above and beyond what teens are doing on the internet already? I mean, let me know. Next story we got up here is going to be about what we got. Tron. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tron. Now, I'm a big Tron fan from back in the days, and I saw a Tron movie with the dude, the Big Lebowski. I don't even care what his name is anymore. To me, he's forever known as a dude. Has anybody seen The Big Lebowski? If you've seen The Big Lebowski, give me the heads up. Excellent movie. If you haven't seen The Big Lebowski, check it out. It's a transformational movie for sure. A must see, if you ask me. Definitely a good movie. I don't know the guy's name though that's in The Big Lebowski. Maybe I should just go ahead and check that out. Let's look at this. The Big Lebowski. All right, we got what is this dude's name? Jeff Bridges. There we go. So Jeff Bridges was in this reboot of Tron that I saw years back. And it was okay. I mean, I don't know if I felt it as a Tron movie. So I'm hoping that this will be a good successor to the Tron like universe. Let's go ahead and check this trailer. I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna check this out for the first time together, you guys. And unless you've already seen it, and then is this just rehash? Let's do it. Actually, hold on. My bad, chat. I gotta get my headphones. Oh, that wasn't it. I'm not gonna hold you. I never feel like I need headphones until I am showing a video on here and I'm like, okay, you need headphones. Let's make sure we're connected here, you guys, before we start this video, because I definitely want to see this. Okay, here we go. Are we connected? We are. All right, let's get this Tron thing going.
Since time began, man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered.
Oh, that's loud. Okay, here we go.
Am I alone? So
Statistically speaking, we're absolutely not alone. Just statistically speaking, that is, of course.
so much talk of AI and big tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like? When will we get there? Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here. I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier. He's biblically strong.
Well, it looks good. I'm not gonna hold you. It looks good. They're doing a good job with the visuals. I'm not gonna. That's a good start.
Lightning fast, supremely intelligent. And if he is struck down on the battlefield, I will simply make you another.
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
Yeah, this is already looking better than what came out before. It is already looking better than what came out before. What we got in the chat here? Well, let me know when you are here, and actually that would be definitely she. If when I make my way to Minnesota, I'm definitely hitting you up so we can go grab a beer or something. Owen Knight, I was about to flip my freaking table because I thought I was getting ads for a minute there. Hey, Owen, what's going on? Glad you join us. No dissing Legacy. Oh, listen, Legacy, it was okay, right? I'm not complaining about Legacy. This looks way better though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. I like that. And I'm an October baby, so I'm October's very own. This is coming out October. Got to see it.
What are you?
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
And I like the guy. I like the person that they got playing the role. What was he in though? He was in this medieval movie I saw. He was like a Viking or something. I don't recall.
Hang on! malfunctioning program who wants to live. Why is that?
It's just, I feel
Wait, is Jeff Bridges still? Is he in this one? Oh, he's in this one too. That's great. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Now I gotta see it. The dude is in Tron again for the second time. I love it. Yeah, chat. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. It's Tron. I'm not an 80s baby, but I'm a baby of the 80s. I gotta see it. What do we got in the chat here? The Tron cycle is always the best, only good part of the Tron movie. Absolutely, the motorcycles are to die for. I need Disney to get their marketing game up and get way out ahead of Jared Leto cancellation. What is that? I don't know about the Jared Leto cancellation. Are we canceling somebody? Apple announced a Neuromancer TV series. Ooh. Now they can make one without him. He's canon at this point. Listen, Jeff Bridges, forever. Okay? Forever. Recognizers in the real world is wild. And that's kind of where I'm thinking. Like I'm wondering, how is this whole interaction happening, which is going to be an interesting part of this. Ooh, that's wow, that's risque. Okay, no doubt, Owen. Appreciate that tidbit. All right, let's go into the next story we got here, which is going to be about a Philadelphia chess match happening through the portals. If you guys don't know what that is, it's very... All right, so here in Philadelphia, we have a portal. And if you guys don't know what the portal system is, I want to show you guys a little bit of a trailer here of the portal, just to give you an idea for what this thing is here. Let's take a look.
And be the pioneers of a united planet.
So that right there is a structure that they built in like maybe 6 cities around the world right now. And they built these particular, there we go. And they built, let me turn down my mic. I'm too loud right now. And they built them with screens in the middle of them so you can see two-way. So there's a portal in Philadelphia here, downtown, Center City. I call it downtown, but in Philadelphia, it's Center City. And then you have portals in Dublin. I think Portland has one. New York City has one. But the point is, other cities around the world have them as well, and you can visually see people. You will know what city you're seeing when you walk up to the portal, and the other side of that portal, the person who's looking wherever they're at can see you. So you can see someone looking at the portal; they can see you because you're looking at the portal. You know what? I should do a live from the portal one day. It's technology. You know what I'm saying? It's best. Here we go. So someone in Lithuania and someone in Poland. And there's real time of people at the portals looking at each other. It's a very interesting... Listen, if you're an SG, like a Stargate fan, this is a must-see, okay? You owe it to yourself, if you're a Stargate fan, to get to a city with a portal and experience it. It's magical, okay? Just the only way to explain it. But recently, they had a chess match using the portals here in Philadelphia. So Philadelphia portal, and I think a portal in, where was it at? I think this was Portland. Where was it at? Oh, it's all 4 cities. So players in Dublin, So it wasn't. I was thinking they were naming all of the portal places, but it wasn't all of the portal places. They were having them at these places. So Dublin, Lublin, Philadelphia, and Vilnius. Am I saying this right, Chad? Vilnius. I think I'm saying it right now. Okay, so in those 4 places right there, they had the portals open, and they had chess players at each portal who were playing with each other. So there are a few pieces of technology at play for this chess match, right? So you had the portals, which were connecting 2 players across the world, right? And then you also had the chess board that they were using to play the chess on was also networked, right? So they have I think this technology is called what are we calling this technology here? Chess Up 2. So the boards that they're using are called Chess Up boards, which are networked between 2 people, and they show you spaces on the board. As you can see here on this picture, you can see lit up spaces on the board, letting you know someone's move or where they're intending to move and things like that. So it's a way to keep track of the moves between 2 people who aren't in the same room. And then you add that with the portal aspect of it to where they can actually see each other. And you can have other people watching this match around the portal. It became a very interesting and awesome event. So again, if you haven't seen these portals around the US and you don't know about them and you're an SG fan, definitely you owe it to yourself to check them out. What do we got here in the chat? Again, you guys, if there is something you would like to say about any of this, we have a events channel that's open right now. And here we go. We have an events channel that's open right now that you can go in, and it's on Discord. So there's a link down in the description that goes right to this event channel. And you can go in the event channel, and if you have something to say, you can raise your hand to let me know you want to say something. And then at that point, I'll have the option to invite you to say something, and then you can say something on live, whether it's a comment about something we've talked about, whether it's your own comment about something totally unrelated to what we're talking about, but still tech related, or if you just have an opinion on something. Or you want to put us onto a story that you know about that we're not talking about. So if that's something you want to do, there are options for you to do that in the Discord, and that's through the events channel. Again, links in the description. Yeah, so let's go on to this next one here. We have Creality's new filament printer. Actually, let's go to the chat before we do that. That new story. There's no way those portals don't lead to some adult-rated hijinks. Listen, they did it at first. At first, that's what they even took some portals down when they first put them up because people were getting naked in front of them, flashing people, all kinds of stuff was happening. But they've learned some things since the first year of those portals' existence as like what people will and won't do in front of them. Vandalism was happening. People were breaking them. So, people were just being human beings. For what that's worth. So there were a lot of learning, growing pains with this process, but they've learned a few things. They've moved the portals around, still keeping them within the same city, just moved them to different locations that will keep them more protected and safeguard against vandalism and lewd behavior. What else we got here? The Rock says, just canceled Apple TV. I like to keep on subs open to jump on service to watch a series, then cancel. Oh, that's what I do. I rarely keep. I subscribe to a service and then cancel it immediately, with the exception of Netflix, because I get that through the phone company. But if it's any other service, I get it and cancel it immediately because you don't know what you're gonna like to watch in a month, and you'll just be paying for it for life, not even thinking about it. Although there is an app that points out those recurring subscriptions, so you can kind of cancel them, and it'll even go so far as to cancel some for you, or aid you in the cancellation of those subscriptions. I think it's called Rocket Money. I think that's what it is. Severance was good. Severance was good. I started it. I didn't finish it. Moved to sub to YouTube Premium. Ads are now every 5 minutes. That's a sub I won't cancel either. I get a lot of value from the YouTube subscription, YouTube Premium, music, no ads. You get extra space. I think they're even bundling Google One with the premium now. So it's lots of bang for your buck with YouTube Premium. There's only one other portal in Brazil. I guess they think Brazilians don't play chess. Well, there's only one other portal in Brazil. Well, I don't know how they pick these cities for the portals. They must have done something. I mean, whatever city was willing to work with them, right? I'm sure tax incentives had something to do with that, right? All kinds of stuff probably had to do with it. I keep Apple on running and I keep YouTube running. Other stuff I share subscriptions, so I'm paying something stupid like $4 for Netflix with 4K. Okay, yeah, you gotta have 4K with the Netflix. Come on, chill out. You gotta have that. All right, you guys. Let's go on to the next story we got here. And I think this next story is Creality's new filament printer. So I just want to take a look at Creality's new filament printer. Someone talked about Creality. This particular article was talking about Creality being the best budget 3D printer. I beg to differ. But we got Creality's new multi-filament machine. It's cheap, reliable, and simply the best budget 3D printer available. I mean, I read the article. I'm looking at the prints. I'm looking at how it works, and I'm just like, maybe. I have to get more information on this. But it is a entry-level 3D printer. They say it's extremely cheap, but I don't think it's extremely cheap. The A1 Mini I have here from Bamboo is cheaper than this particular machine right here. And if you're looking at $400, like I think this Bamboo was half that. And it works like a charm. So definitely, if you're in the market for 3D printers, definitely look at the whole host of printer options you have available to you. At this point, 3D printers are so good, the brand almost doesn't matter. You know what I mean? The brand almost doesn't matter with 3D printers being so as good as they are these days. It's about features right now. What features do you want in the 3D printer? They're all going to print good, but what features do you want? That's how I'm starting to feel about eInk, to be honest with you. They're all good. Well, I'm sorry. They're not all good. Never mind. Let me take that back. So extremely cheap. Offers most printing. Single film printing is fast. Slow multi-filament printing. Slower than Core XY. So this is a pretty decent setup as far as allowing you to connect 4 spools of filament, and that's pretty interesting. I think I need one of these cases to keep filament in, because I was on the Discord this morning and I saw a post made by eInk in the 3D printing channel where she's talking about how stringy the prints were coming out, and she attributed that to the humidity. I'm like, man, I never even thought of that. I just leave my filament hanging out all willy-nilly. Can we see this? Let me go to can we see the iPhone cam? Oh, we can't see how all willy-nilly I leave my printer out. Oh, snap. All right, can we see? Oh, we can't. Oh, we can see there. Okay, so we can kind of see there how we can kind of see there how I have my 3D printer, like the filament is just like out all willy-nilly, and I just keep it out. I don't do anything special. I just keep it out, doing nothing special with it. So I feel like I should do something special with it. Keep it in a container. Maybe I need one of those humidity and temperature controlled cases to keep them in. That's more money. I didn't want to spend that, but I feel like I may need to, because I got stringiness the other day on one of my models, and I was like, what is happening? This didn't happen the last time I printed. There's nothing different. The settings are the same. Why am I having this effect? Humidity is probably why. It's been pretty rainy here in Philadelphia the last few days. Yeah, AMS, my bad. Yeah, AMS. That's what I was thinking about with the 3D printers. Let's go to the chat. No, number 4. Our money is UK. It's worth more than US. Oh, so it's not $4. What is that, like $20? It's important for that to be mentioned so that Donald feels inadequate. Oh, and you're a riot, yo. I gotta get you and Mr. Mike in a room together. That would make for an interesting conversation. eInk says I need AMS with a Sunlu driver attached for the spring and summer. What does that do, eInk? educate me because I have no idea. When you talked about the humidity, when I saw the humidity comment this morning, I was like, oh, that opened my eyes to a few things that I had never thought about. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Creality's website real quick and see what kind of look we can take at this machine. All right, so here it is right here. The Creality well, this is the combo right here with the filament housing here. I mean, it's a decent looking machine. I would have. I chose the A1 Mini straight off of vibes. I heard that it was good, which is like okay, as long as it's not bad. And then the rest of it was just vibes. Like, how does it look? How do I feel looking at it? Is it attractive? Is it an attractive 3D printer? The A1 Mini is very attractive. Look, take a look. That's one attractive. Hold on, That's one handsome 3D printer right there. That 3D printer is handsome. You can't even tell me. That's handsome. Okay, we'll go back. All right, here we go. Let's get to the next story here. I am interested in this Creality machine only because this guy's like is the best entry level. I'm gonna have to look at some YouTube reviews on this. I'm sure there's some people out that's got their hands on this to kind of see what the overall consensus is compared to the A1 Mini I have over here. Because I still feel like the A1 Mini, this thing is sub $200, but man, it does good work. We'll talk about some comparisons here between it and the resin printer too a little bit later on. All right, let's go on to the next story we have here, which is going to be the fallout at Windsurf. Now, this is going to be very quick. Really. All right, so the fallout at Windsurf, basically, we talked about this last week, how Google bought key members of the Windsurf team, and they didn't buy the whole company because, again, they already got some smoke with the government. They don't want no more smoke with the government. So this buying of companies and the antitrust things that are going on, or the implications of antitrust that goes on when you're buying up companies, they didn't want no parts of that. So they didn't buy the company, which they probably would have done had they not had all those smoke with the government they have right now. Actually, they're still fighting. But the point here being that I thought instantly, okay, so they didn't buy the company. They bought key members of the team, including the CEO. So they bought the head guy. I'm like, okay, I even said this statement. Like, where does that leave everybody else? Like, I was confused. The next day, we talked a little bit more about what happened with the rest of the Windsurf team going to Cognitive or Cognition. So, and when Cognition bought out the company, they got the rest of the team. Now, I thought that's kind of weird, right? The big boys, the CEO and the head engineer, go to Google, and not the little guys, but the rest of the team who, they don't have all the rights to the intellectual properties that went on at Windsurf. They're just like marketing, you know what I mean? The marketing team. The marketing team. But the marketing team gets left behind. I'm like, okay, so what happens? Well, it turns out what was happening is exactly how I felt it was happening. Like when I read this story initially last week, I thought this feels like Google poached the smartest people from the team. You know what I mean? They would have liked the company, but they just poached the smartest people. And it felt like to me, like, you know how you read those stories of how people, there's a band, right? There's a band, but there's only really one good singer or instrument or guitar player in that band. There's one star in that band. And so, and an A&R person or a record producer or a manager comes along and says, hey, your band's good, but you're never going to go anywhere with this group. Just go solo. Come with me. I'll pay you tons of money just to go solo. I'll produce your record. I'll give you money to do this, that, and the third. It's going to be great. Just leave these bums behind. You don't need them. They're dragging you down. That's the way I felt when I read this story. Like, this dude, the star was pulled away from the group by some shiesty A&R. But that's exactly how it happened. So how I was feeling is how it happened. So these guys from the Windsurf team are talking about what happened in the actual buying of the company, the poaching of the talent. So people were feeling pretty upset about what happened. I mean, they got money on the back end, so everything's good now. But initially, people were super upset about this. And I'm just like, yeah, it feels nasty. Like you just left your You left the guys that you built the company with behind. Like, listen, yeah, I love you guys. You're like family, but there's money over here to be made. I don't know. I felt very weird about it, but it turns out it is exactly how I thought it was. Which validation. That's really the only reason this story is in the lineup. Validation. Okay. What do we got in the chat? Let's go ahead and check. Okay. Oh, we got Dave. Dave, if you have something you want to say about any of these stories, I won't be able to invite you to talk unless you pull up the hand marker. I know it sounds silly, but you got to throw up the hand thing so I can invite you. But that's only if you have something to say, though, because I see Dave's in the event channel. So thank you for coming to the event channel, Dave. If you guys have something to say, any one of these stories interests you, there's a link in the bottom of the description where there's a Discord link, and you can jump into the events channel. There's also an events channel link in the description that takes you right to the events channel. So you can jump right in there if you have a question, or if you have a comment, or if you want to voice your opinion, feedback, or if you have a story you would like us to talk about, you want to put on our radar, go in there, let me know, and you can say it on the air live. Okay, all right. Back to the story we were talking about here, which is the windsurf fallout. So good story. I'm glad I was right about something. I rarely am. Let's get to the next thing. ByteDance is making a pair of AR glasses. So TikTok glasses. I mean, it's kind of what people were thinking about with Meta, right? When Meta was talking about they're going to make some Meta glasses, they were like, oh, Instagram glasses. Let's take a look. All right. So what we have here is No Vision Pro. Whoa, No Vision Pro. No Meta Quest. ByteDance takes a swipe at the table and develops its own mixed reality glasses backed by TikTok. Okay, so kind of like how Meta's is backed by Instagram, like everything uploads to Instagram, you can't upload it from the glasses to anywhere else, which I think was a huge miss. But Instagram is what I mostly upload little short stuff to anyway, because it's free music there, so it works. Let's talk about a couple of things they have here for this press release. Although the U.S. market seems to indicate that mixed reality glasses do not end up selling. Okay, this was written poorly. The company owner of TikTok, ByteDance, does not agree. After several market launches, such as the Vision Pro and Reality Pro from Apple, the HoloLenses from Microsoft, and the Google Glass from Meta. Google Glass. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You know what? We got to find something else. Oh, TikTok. Oh, okay. So we have to go with this poorly written story here. Holy cow. I mean, it is so poorly written. Okay, we're going to skip to this next paragraph because I'm going to give you guys the overview. So here we go. Large overview of this story. TikTok is making a pair of AR glasses. This article right here is really written very poorly. But to do that, they're creating a separate company called, I think it's called Poco. If I'm not mistaken, what do we got here? Pico. So they created a separate company called Pico that makes hardware. So the sole purpose of this company is to R&D and research these AR glasses that TikTok or ByteDance is trying to build for the TikTok brand. They don't talk about a date this is going to come out. They don't talk about any specs or anything like that. They basically just talk about the creation of this Pico company that's being built as a AR hardware company for ByteDance. So I'll keep my eye on this because I was hoping to get a little bit of information from this article, but that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening at all. But if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I will be giving more information out on that. I think, like I said, this is going to be something that's going to be akin to the Meta glasses and how it works with Instagram. It just seems like a natural progression to me. And as far as AI goes, glasses are the way to go. So yeah, not really surprising, but definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. What else do we have here? I think the last story we got here is going to be about. Oh no, we got one more. Oh no, this is it. Last story we got here is going to be about that tech CEO at the Coldplay concert. He resigns as a CEO, and I thought that was interesting, and because he's a tech CEO, and it's a big story. So let's talk about it. If you guys didn't know or see this on like socials over the last like not week yet, but like 4 or 5 days, there was a Coldplay concert. Tech CEO gets put on the kiss cam, but he's not there with his wife. He's there with the AH&R lady. And they're hanging out hugged up. So that brought all kind of drama onto him when that whole thing got out. And he ultimately resigned from the company, which I think was a smart move. Like, you can't get caught with the HR lady at your company and then be like, oh, no, nothing's wrong. People, what's wrong? Nah, you gotta resign after that. You can't stay there. Both of you, I think both of them should be resigning, but whatever. Now this is interesting. Now this is interesting for another reason for me being in Philadelphia. It's because we're petty here in Philly. We feel like no one likes us in Philadelphia, and that may or may not be true. But because we feel like no one likes us here in Philadelphia, we're like, we don't care. We make fun of everybody doing anything. And because of that, we're pretty petty here in Philly. And here's the level of pettiness that it gets to in Philadelphia. Let's take a look.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Oh, look at these people. All right, come on. You okay? Oh, what?
Now this is at the Philadelphia Phillies game Friday. So that's the Philadelphia Phillies game on Friday, where the mascots had to play out the whole ordeal at the Coldplay concert. That's the level of petty we are here in Philadelphia, and I love it. I'm here for it. All right, that's gonna be all the tech news for today, you guys. We wrapped that up pretty quick. 44 minutes. Whoa. It's not bad. We did pretty good. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the eInk news we got here, but let's go to the chat real quick before we do that. Or what did Mike say that you're agreeing with, Shink? Oh, here we go. So the MMS is that the Bamboo uses to connect its multicolor setup, so I can get up to 16 pounds one printer, or 16 pounds on one printer, and then Sunlu has made the dryer that attaches to the AMS itself, which will then keep. Now I read somewhere that Bamboo makes an enclosure that is temperature and humidity controlled. What do you think? Sheen says it will keep my filament dry in the machine, ready to print all year. That's kind of what I want, and I'm realizing me keeping my filament out is probably not a good idea. Not unlike yourself. Oh, Mr. Mike said yes, it is indeed attractive. Thank you, Mike. I know Mike's being facetious, but it's okay. It's okay. Thank you anyway. How did Windsurf not give their key employees contracts with no competes? Right? Well, I mean, if you think about it too, Owen, Windsurf, the people who left Windsurf and went to Google, they would have been the people who made the non-compete contracts. It was a CEO and like the head of engineering. Like, they would have been the people to do that. They probably would not have been held to that same standard. But I'm sure they did have no compete contracts. Wrong one. Anycubic Cobra X1. That's a nice piece of kit. Ooh. The Rock. Let's check out that one. Anycubic. No, you know what though? Everyone's talking about the X1. Everyone's talking about the X1. That's what people were talking about that last week too when I mentioned 3D printing, and I didn't know what machine they were talking about. Oh, maybe they were talking about the X1 Carbon though. That could have been the X1. Cobra S1. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this. I just want to see some images of it so I can judge it. Is this it? No, that's not the X1. I don't. Just looking at this though, I'm not gonna hold you guys. I don't think I like the way Anycubic printers look. It might work good, but it don't look good. I don't even see the S1 here, and I deliberately. If you look at the top here, I got X1 up there. No X1 anywhere. Is this it? Oh, this is the Bamboo X1. So I don't know. I can never find it. Regardless, though, even if I did find it, I don't think it would look good. I don't like the design language. I'm not an Anycubic dude. Owen says this again begs the question. Apple is playing catch up with Microsoft and Google. Are they going to go on a hiring spree to make Siri less dumb, or would they just buy Perplexity? They can't buy Perplexity. They could buy Perplexity, I would imagine, but Perplexity has got so many deals going on with so many big players in the industry. Like, they got so many deals going on with so many people. I doubt that they will be, even if they wanted to buy Perplexity, which they probably do, they wouldn't be able to. But the thing about Perplexity is they're using other people's models. They're not creating their own models. I've been saying for 20 years that AR is the way, and that VR was not dead on arrival, but close to it, says Owen. AR has been the way. VR is good too. VR is the long-term way. AR is the way right now, I think, though. Dude, Google Atari X Pac-Man collection. X Pac-Man collection. Let's see what that is. Atari. Oh, wow, that's nice. That is nice. I mean, I ain't in the Pac-Man like that, but that's cool. It'd be cooler if it was orange, you know what I'm saying? It'd be way cooler if it was orange, Owen. Execs extra, what do we got here? Duroc says, exec extracurriculars have been happening at every corp job I've worked for. Strange this is news. Well, you know what, though? I agree with that. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree that this is happening everywhere. But once it gets found out, I think you should leave. You know what I mean? I mean, it's happening everywhere, but once people know that because there's clearly going to be favoritism in certain situations when that's happening, and it is. Like, you gotta quit at that point because people's suspicions would have been confirmed at that point. You've got no leg to stand on if someone wanted to go to HR. Like, you're done. Just go to another job, bro. Do better there. It's like getting caught cheating. Like, it's done. Like, when you've been caught, like, in my mind, you're done once you get caught cheating. Your relationship may last for a little while longer, but the resentment that sets in from the whole ordeal just gets worse over time. And believe me, I know from experience. It's just done. Like, just move on to another relationship at that point, because it's never going to be the same again. Ever. And anyone that says it is, they got a special reality. You know what I mean? They can create their own reality. And you know what? To some extent, some people in some jobs have to be delusional. Like, I was talking to Amy the other day about how, like, some people have to be delusional about their talents and their reality sometimes, because to do certain things in life, you have to be somewhat unrealistically enthusiastic or unrealistically hopeful. I put myself in that category. My sense of reality is not everyone else's. And my view of me is not what everybody else's view of me is either. So that's another thing. It's the S1, the enclosed system, multi-filament dryer. Oh, the S1. Why did I have X1? Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm not gonna hold you. I still don't. All right. Let me just pull up. Let me pull up what I think is beautiful here. Why are bamboo machines so beautiful? I don't know, but this machine is beautiful to me. Like, let's look in comparison here. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. You know what? I see it right now. What the difference is? I see it right now. I mean, other than it being bigger, right? I mean, this is a beast of a machine right here. But the design language is what I'm talking about. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't know. I do like the design. I actually do like it. Their door looks more like a door rather than a cover. Whereas bamboo's, their door just looks like a cover or a see-through cover for the structure. This looks like an actual door for the system. I like that. That's cool. I'm with that. What else we got in the chat? Asheen says, gotta check out. We'll send some vid of Oshkosh in Discord. We'll catch the rest on replay. Y'all have a good day. Take care, Asheen. Yeah, that's interesting. I like it though. It's good. I'll take that. My bad, mistyped. S1, not X1. Okay, it's the one that looks like the bamboo. Yeah, it is. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I actually like that one. I actually like that one. That one's not bad. There's a difference. Owen says there's a difference between having an ego, but ultimately being talented and fulfilling yourself up and failing upwards. Very true, Owen. Very true. That looks sexy. It does, Mr. Mike. I really did like the look of that machine. Yeah, yeah, I like the fact that it looks like it has a door on it. And I would imagine their bigger machines looks even better. All right, let's go into some eInk. Best stylus for lab work. You know what? Let me grab that stylus. Oh, let's do this. Oh, I don't even know. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. All right, so now I've been doing a lot of lab work, and I'm gonna pull all of these out. We're gonna pull all of these out real quick. I mean, we can't even have this. It's not even EMR, so who cares? I think this is a good collection. I think this is pretty representative. Do we need anything else? Oh, you know what I could pull out? All right. Granted, most of these are Supernote pens, but I mean, I like the way they build pens. Let's go to the chat real quick. I understand. That's why my ego is okay. Yeah. The Rock says it's beautiful like Apple or Remarkable are beautiful. Nice looks to lock you into an ecosystem. I'm not down with that. Yeah, they do. They do. And they get me every time. I gotta say I'm a sucker. I'm pretty shallow when it comes to that. You just need to add the Wacom 1. I had a Wacom 1 that I was configuring for somebody. I had to ultimately send it back. I made a short video on it though that I need to edit. All right, let's take a look at these. So I guess we could have, but looking at that Wacom 1, this would be kind of akin to that Wacom 1 because it has a clip. The Wacom 1 wasn't retractable though. Yeah. Through any event, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, I was using a lot of pins while I was doing my resin 3D printing over the weekend. And, you know, having resin on, I mean, I have gloves on, right? But having resin on your gloves or hands and the utensils that you're using, that resin will get everywhere. Once you undo that, pop that resin bottle, that resin gets everywhere. Aaron says, I didn't know we were showing our eInk. Like, this is a small collection here. I got like 3 or 4 other ones there. But like I said, these are the ones I use the most here. But after using all of these and trying to use them and saying which one would I use to use on my Manta for my data collection, you know, resin everywhere, IPA everywhere, you got dust and stuff. And also, I'm tinkering with some dyes. So you got that to throw into the mix. So a lot of things are happening, a lot of things on my hands, and I'm like, which pen should I use? I tried to use all of these, but the one I settled on to use for lab situations would be this one right here. And there's a few reasons for that. It's short, for one. So that helps with this thing right here. Now, when I'm writing, let's pull it out over here. Now, when I'm writing and I'm just taking something down and I want to erase, now, just so you guys know, I'm not a big fan of the eraser, but if that's all you got, I'm going to use it. All right, so and this is all this has, doesn't have a button, it just has the eraser. So when I'm writing and I want to go erase something, I just turn it over and I erase. Now, when I have a longer pen, oh boy, let's just take this pen for a reason. Or for example, because this could be the Remarkable 2 pen. It's not. It's the Remarkable Paper Pro, but they're the same size. If I'm writing with this pen, if I want to go back and erase, I could erase like that, but I have to do other stuff, like go get my hand down to the bottom of it and then go erase, go back, get my hand in position and do that again. Now, that's fine and dandy when my hand doesn't have slippery stuff all over it. But when your hand got slippery things all over it and you're just trying to get something written real quick, being able to write, switch over, erase, go back, write, switch over, erase, not having to slide down and reconfigure your hand because the pen is so long. Now that, to me, is a bonus in a lab setting. When you got chemicals and all kinds of other things around, you don't want to mess around. Just bam, 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 bam. It's just a really simple and easy way to do it. Now, it doesn't have a top, say like this, where, I mean, if it was closed, I would have to obviously open it. It takes 2 hands. Again, resin everywhere, IPA everywhere, dyes everywhere, chemicals everywhere, okay? You don't want to have to do that. So this would be okay. And the fact that there's a button here, again, I wouldn't want to use a button in a lab situation just because chemicals, you got all the stuff on your hands, right? This button is just a place for things to get into. Okay, it's just somewhere for things to get into. You don't need that. Every crease in this is just somewhere for things to get into. You got no real creases on this pen right here. Nothing for anything to kind of get into. So it makes cleaning it, once you get the inevitable chemical, resin, or whatever on it, it's easy, or it can easily be cleaned. I like that about it. This would be cool. The Supernote clickable pen would be cool in the lab too. The problem is, you know, it's got the clip, so it clips on your lab coat. That's cool. But beyond that, the clip is a liability. Okay, it's just another area for you to get something caught up on, your glove caught up on. Now you got a hole in your glove, and you got to retract it. So you know what I mean. You got to retract it to do it. You could keep it retracted, but again, this point right here is just another point for things to get into. Liquids, resin, like anything could get into these things. So not a very good choice for lab use. What else we got here? This is not a good choice for lab use for a lot of the same reasons. Well, one being it's metal, so you don't, like, this is just plastic. It could probably withstand a few things. Even if it couldn't, you know, you're not, this just, you know, metal on things like that, not very good. And it's got the clip, which again, another thing for you to glove get caught on. and it's got the top, so you got to manipulate that. Same thing with this one right here. Although no buttons, so it's a lot less prone to things getting in little places. If you were to go ahead and take the cap off, this actually might be pretty good. This one actually might be pretty good in the lab. It might be, but seams. Got one right here. You're probably holding it somewhere right there. There's just something cool about this being so simple that you feel like nothing can happen to it. That's how simple it is. Anyway, something could happen to it, right? But not yet. And I've cleaned it many a time, and we're still rocking with it. So to me, best pen to use for lab situations. Well, first, the best tablet to use for lab situations is going to be the Manta. You should just get the Manta for lab situations. Throw it on a clipboard, you'll be happy. I do it all the time. But when you're looking for the Stylus, grab one of these. Just get rid of the nib that's in here when you do. This nib is straight and total and utter garbage. I'm sorry, not this nib. The nib that's in it is awesome. The nib that I pulled out of it is straight garbage. It's the rubber tip, which feels like a sponge when you're writing. It's a sticky sponge. It's not good at all. So get rid of that tip. Buy you a palm tip or something like that, and then get busy. You would not regret that decision. Let's go to the chat. And no clip. The Wacom one is flared at the end and has a palm nib. It feels great. Oh, no clip. Okay, cool. I like that flared end. It does offer some ergonomics, and that's one of the reasons I almost pulled the trigger on the Wacom one, and I still might actually. It is a good, and it's got 2 buttons on the Wacom one, if I'm not mistaken. Right, 2 buttons. Rod, I want an EMR pen that has a cone tip like the USI Styli. Does anything like that exist? Yeah, right. I think. Hold on, Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, I think. If not, I can definitely make something. What else we got here? If not, can you invent one? I will. I'm gonna put that on you know what? That's on my list of cones to make, because I was gonna make one for USI. So I've been designing a USI tip. But someone needs to make a good USI pen first. The Pilot G2 with the ceramic nib would be awesome. Yes, it would. They have some conversion tips for the G2, I think. The Rock says it's good. It's a good point about the side button on Lamy. Did work working this weekend, and sawdust was getting everywhere on the pen. Yeah, and that's just another point of contention, right? It's awesome when you don't have anything to worry about, but when you got things to worry about, simple is the best way to go. The Rock says I'll give a think on the Statler to live on my wood shop. Oh, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. Just change the nib though. Change the nib, and you'll be happy with that. Jay put me on to the Statler Norris Jumbo Digital. I did not like it until I got it to fit a nib to, and when I bought one to fit the nib to, I was just using it, and I'm like, I like this pen. I'm like, I like it. I see why Jay likes it so much. Aaron says, yes, use the Manta because you clearly don't care about getting it dirty. Nope. Nope. And the Manta is almost the best thing for lab use. You can kind of throw it down and sit it around anywhere without really having to worry about it. And because the screen protector is so thick and soft and anti-scratch and all that, it just, you can throw things on top of it. It cleans up really easily. Would you use a non-ceramic nib on your Supernote? No. I've tried that before. I used plastic. It felt too slippery. The palm was okay, but like I said, just too slippery. Felt, oh my God, it made me want to just jump out of the window right here. Don't use felt. I use titanium too. I don't know why I didn't like the feel of titanium. It was something about it that I didn't like. It didn't do it for me. That's the pen that Ed uses. The Norris. Well, you broke your Manta again? How? Mr. Mike, what are you doing to these things? Yeah, what broke? I'm curious. Let's go on to eInk though. While Mike fills us in what happened to his Manta. Oh, it's gonna cost. Oh, you getting it fixed? Cost you $237. At least you gotta buy a new one, bro. At least you don't have to buy a new one. All right, the next thing we got up here on the eInk note tip is going to be no stroke erase on remarkable devices. Why? What's the deal, you guys? Why don't we have a no stroke eraser on the remarkable? That's like the bane of my existence right now. Every morning when I come and I write my script up for the show, or I'm writing down some news stories for the show, I inevitably come to a point to where I need to erase something, right? And I just want to pull what little hair I have left out when I do it, because it's like, why? Like, you're making me erase. Like, all right, let me just take a look at this. This is the eraser for the Remarkable Paper Pro. And it's not like you have a choice, because this is a proprietary device right here. Like, there are some other stylists that work with the Remarkable Paper Pro, but not very many. You know what I'm saying? And not as well as this one does. But in any event, this is a pretty substantial end for an eraser. You're not getting precision erasing done with this. You know what I'm saying? This will take away a whole word. Like, you try to precision erase, the whole word is gone. So, no precision erasing with this. So, why not a stroke erase? Or make erasing doable with the tip here. I don't know. It was just, I mean, you can do that, but not without changing it over to the actual eraser tool. I'm always, and I'm going to bring that up every time that makes me mad, because I'm just like, why would you not have a stroke erase? At least it's just an option. Like, what are we doing? Dropped it on pavement when I stood up out of my car. Oh, fell right on the corner and crushed it. Premium tablets don't break easy, LOL. Get a 10.3. The GOAT. Parmesan, can leaving EMR pins in the hot car ruin them? I had both my Boox pins and my Stylus Jumbo both go bad at the same time. Oh. I would imagine if it starts to melt the plastic on the inside. Case in point, Amy left her phone in the car. We were coming from Delaware, and we were I think it was a graduation party. But she left her phone in the car for like 5 hours or so. When she went to go get her phone, the screen protector had peeled off of the phone. It had it just peeled off into a bunch on top of the phone. So heat will, the heat that we've been experiencing lately will melt some plastic. And if it melted some of the plastic on the inside of the electronics that they have inside the pen, yeah, that could definitely have damaged it. I thought it was mostly plastic. Durox says, I thought it was mostly plastic to help protect against falls. Had that one travel writer throwing it around. Yeah, well, I mean, it's supposed to be able to take a fall. It's super durable. I don't know what you're doing, Mike. I've dropped this device numerous times. I've dropped the Manta numerous times. Nothing. I've never dropped them on concrete though, so that's another thing. Palm said they're both super sensitive. They would write up without making contact with the screen. I replaced tips or nibs, no help. Ooh, yeah, that definitely damaged some of the electronics inside the pens for sure. The heat. Good to know though, Parmesan. Thank you for that. I mean, you had to lose a couple pens for us to learn that, but that's good science. You gotta break a few eggs. You know what I'm saying? Aaron says, oh no, concrete. Yeah, that will kill anything. Absolutely. Mr. Mike says, I have a 10.3 and never broke it, or my Nomad, or 3 Galaxy tablets. Only one I ever broke was the Manta. Not once, but twice. That's that's amazing. Duroc says only one thing can think of that is heat soften the springs inside the pen barrel. Should get better as they cooled unless the spring deformed. Yeah, I'm almost thinking that the plastic may have deformed something. I mean, it could have thrown the spring off too. I live in Texas. Your electronics overheat. Where your electronics overheat in 2 minutes. Yeah, Texas will kill some electronics. It's like Louisiana heat. All right. Last thing we got on the eInk tip is Boox new 4.1 Note Air 4C beta. I got that this morning. Everybody's been talking about this, but I literally just got this morning. And let's take a look. We're gonna use, what pen should we use on this thing? We'll use the clear. So what we got here? We got copying pages in a whole note. We got recycling bin. We got a few other things too. So there's a couple things I wanted to mention with this with the last two updates that probably brought these changes. Let me get back up here. So the Note Air 4C is what I'm using to demonstrate these 4.1 updates from Onyx. And we're going to go into this note here. Actually, test. All right, so one of the things is copying pages. So this is something we can demonstrate really easy just by going here. And now we're given the ability to select something and just copy instead of copying two, right? We can just copy this and have it saved in the clipboard. So that's awesome. That should have been there a long time ago, but we got it now. I appreciate that. So we can hit the copy button. And we got a duplicate version. They should have just called it duplicate. I think that's how Remarkable handles it. Yeah, Remarkable handles it by doing duplicate. That's more descriptive, or that's more of a descriptor for what's actually happening here versus copy. But the big thing for me is this right here. Your ability, let me get rid of this. Wow, that's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay, so your ability to get tools at the site of selection. So we're going to just circle this. And now that it's selected, we get these tools up here. This is the longest awaited feature that I could ever have asked for. Like, that they did this answers and solves so many problems for me. Now let's see, did they fix? Oh my goodness. They even fixed how the manipulated or the box moves that has the manipulation or the text in it for you to manipulate. That was super sluggish the last time I demoed this. I like this. They're impressing me right now. They're impressing me. So we got cut. Let's go back. All right, so we got cut, we have copy right here, and we also have paste right here. Let's get down a little bit more. Whoops. All right, so again, we got cut, copy, and paste. We can also change the color of the text, right? We have some other options here where you can flip the selection horizontally. You can flip the selection vertically to get a perfect flip of the actual image. And you can also delete the image there. So yeah, I think the only thing missing here is the AI tool, which was there the last time I did this. Can we get the AI tool back up there? Oh, the AI tool probably isn't there because we have a symbol right here in it. So maybe if we did this, we get AI tool. No, that's interesting. So the AI tool doesn't pop up here, but that's okay. We got a lot of tools that are super helpful, and I wouldn't use the AI tool. That's just conversion anyway. So, there's many ways to do that. Way more efficient ways of doing that. So this is cool. I like that. So the ability to have those tools at the site of selection, supreme for me. What else we got here? This is one I don't understand. This change right here. This gives you or minimizes the toolbar, right? And then pushing this one expands the toolbar. This looks like a pen tip. I just don't know why that a pen tip would signify minimizing and expanding. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I'm glad they give you that option. I'm glad they changed it from the thing that it was before. This is an upgrade to that, but still not very good. Still not very good. But those are the two features that are big for me on this particular update. The infinite scroll stuff, I'm not that big into because of how they implement it. I think it's just way better on the Remarkable. But yeah, so I'm super excited to have that update now, and I'll go through it and try to see how I feel about it and see what else they have in it that's new. That's surprising me, but very cool, very cool. Yeah, finally got my tools at the site selection. I've been crying about that for a year, Aaron. I mean, if you guys have been following the channel, you know that I've been crying about that for a while. Mr. Mike says, I honestly think the heat in the car from the drive softened the Manta plastic. Okay, interesting. Wait, why is the toolbar removal not very good? It's good. Aaron, I don't have a problem with it. The icon is what I have a problem with. This icon here. So this icon right here is like, why is it a pen tip? And I mean, that doesn't signify expanding or man, what word am I looking for? Minimizing. That doesn't signify minimizing or expanding a toolbar to me. I don't know. That it's just a pen tip. I take issue with the icon they chose to signify that. Like, I had no idea what that did before I pressed it. And typically, when I'm looking at an icon, I can kind of tell what it's going to do by looking at the icon. This I had no clue, other than it was in the spot for the expanding and minimizing of the toolbar, which, you know, as a thing. The Rock says, tools at selection need to come to 10.3. Agreed, Aaron. They should still keep the tools on the toolbar too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They still should keep the tools on the toolbar, but they should definitely give you the reason why the tools at the site selection is such a big deal for me is because those tools can be contextual. They can tailor the tools that appear there depending on what you're doing and where you're doing it at in the operating system, right? So that's why I think that's a big deal. It's just like, okay, the toolbar, if we look at it, the toolbar has all the tools, and which is how it should be. Like, your toolbar here has all the tools. Your toolbar up here has all the tools. When I select something and get a curated list of tools, it shouldn't include all the tools. It should only include tools that I can use with what I'm doing. And that's what they're doing here. They're only including tools you can use with what you're doing currently. Instead of giving you every tool right there. It's like, okay, I could choose from any tool I want, but if I want to just pick from a curated list of tools just for what I'm doing, that's what that shortcut is about. And I love it. All right, what else we got here? I think that's it for the eInk section. We're flying. Last thing we got here. Actually, the last thing is just a comment. Yeah, the last thing is just a comment. Whoa, where am I at? Okay, so the last thing here is just a basic comment on definition, right? I wanted to see what people think about definitions. Let's just have you guys give me your opinion on this and let me know your genuine opinion on how you feel about this. Now, it is my opinion that you can't, definitions don't mean anything anymore. Like, we're at a place in our life and world where I can give someone a definition for something. They don't have to agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, we're at a point where people can look at a definition from a credible source and say, I don't agree with that. And in a world where you can do that, oh boy, hold on. Oh boy, we're supposed to be doing 3D filament. But we'll talk about this first. We'll do the discussion first, and then we'll go to 3D filament. In a world where you can just say, all right, your definition for something doesn't work for me. I don't care. It does that your argument is your argument is invalid because I don't agree with your definition. And that's a world we're living in today. And that's a question I want to put out there. Are definitions still valid in 2025? Like, are they still a thing? Because it used to be 20 years ago, someone would say, okay, what does that mean? Well, here, let me open the dictionary. I'll give you the definition. And that was the gospel. That was the gospel. There was no, oh, okay, cool. I don't care. I don't care what that definition says. I don't agree with that. So it's not real to me. Like that wasn't a thing 20 years ago. Now it's a very real thing to where people can refute actual definitions of things just because they don't agree with them, just because they don't align with their opinion. Case in point, flat earthers, people who believe that the earth is flat. There are a lot of people who believe that the earth is flat. And nothing anyone can tell them can make them feel any different, right? They feel like the earth is flat. Therefore, they know that the world is flat. They have no evidence to prove it. They have no evidence whatsoever to prove it. But they're dead set on the world is flat. Now, you're not going to convince them otherwise. And people who think the world is round can't convince these people that it's flat. There's evidence and data out there to suggest that the world is round. There's pictures of the earth being round. There's lots of things out there to kind of, it's hard to even say prove it, because in 2025, you can't prove nothing. But with all the data out there, no, it doesn't matter. So in my mind, you can't convince anyone of anything. And this goes back to the second brain argument. There's a lot of conversation about the definition of something. And I gave up that argument because I'm just like, the definition of things don't really matter anymore. Like, if I pull up a definition that tells someone this is what the second brain is, they don't have to believe that. They don't have to take that as the gospel. They don't have to recognize it as being a fact or it's just someone else's opinion that you don't have to agree with. Like, the only statement I could think of, and I was thinking about this before the show, the only statement I could think of that in no one could refute is tangible things that you can touch. If you argue that my glasses are not black, you'd be fighting a losing argument, because it's non-debatable. These are black. Even people who are colorblind see these as black. No one's going to agree with you that these are any other color other than black. So you can go off on a vigilante like tirade about how these are purple. No one cares, because everyone can see that it's black. But everything isn't so cut and dry. Why is water wet? Well, you have to believe in the science to know that to understand why water is wet. And if you don't believe in the science, it doesn't matter. That's not why water's wet. Is any of this making sense? Is the argument about a definition resonating with anybody? Like, do we believe that there's definitions anymore? All right, let's go to the chat. Aaron says, some people think their opinion is fact now, and their point of view is what's fact. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Opinions are now fact. And it's so odd that, but what does that mean for definition? Like, it feels like every definition of things can be refuted right now. If I wanted to, I can refute every definition someone has ever showed me. If I wanted to, I could play devil's advocate with everything. That ain't fun, but you could do it. I don't know. I just think that definitions are a thing of the past. Like no one cares about definitions anymore. And even if you had them and could produce them, someone would question the validity of that definition. Well, where did that come from? Whose opinion is that? Why did their opinion matter? I don't know. I think definitions are gone. Time for 3D filament. All right, so one of the things I wanted to talk about, or the last things I want to talk about, is my experience with 3D filament, 3D printer filament over the weekend. Resin and filament, to be exact. So let's take a look at some examples of two of these. And if you're into 3D printing, you might dig this. All right, first thing is going to be here. Let's do a print. That's perfect. I'm trying to find pristine prints here. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first thing is going to be, can we get it? All right, there we go. So the first one here is a filament printer print. And is this 16? I hope this is 16. It is. So we got number 16 here. All right, so this is probably the smoothest print I could make with the knowledge I have right now of 3D printing. Okay, get it. Yeah, so this is about the smoothest print I can make with my current knowledge of 3D printing, and it's good. It's really good. I mean, it's very flexible. This is TPU, by the way. So this is a TPU print that I made. As you can see, actually, I might want to just back up a little bit. There we go. All right, so as you can see here with the tip here, or maybe you can't. There we go. We can see that there's an angle there. So there's an angle to the tip where it works its way to the top here. Like this is the tip of it, and this is like the angle. There we go. You can see the angle pretty good right there, coming there. It's okay, right? It's not bad. It's not as smooth as it could be, and I wish I could show you guys. No, I can't get any better than that. Oh, that sucks. But I wish I could show you guys the actual edge of this, and maybe I'll do a video doing an extreme close-up of that. But that's a really, it's not bad. It's a good edge. It's a gradual incline to the angle there, but you can see the lines that it took to create that angle. And if you can look at this, it's not very transparent, so you can't really see through this particular material, even though it's clear when it comes out. When it's clear, when it's solidified into the shape that you're making, it's not as clear. And there are things I tried to do to make it clear. I like when the tip is at an angle. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Mike. But the thing here is that I wanted to get it smoother, right? And so my thing was, I wonder if resin printing could get this angle a lot smoother than what it is right now. So this is that. And this is what I was able to do with the resin. Big difference, right? Huge difference. So this one you can clearly see through. This one you cannot. This material right here, the TPU, doesn't feel, well, I guess it feels somewhat, it doesn't, I mean, it's not squishy by any means. It's not squishy at all. But it's soft. It's not like this plastic right here, where it's bendable as well, but it's not soft, right? You can pinch it and whatnot, and it doesn't feel soft. Even though this doesn't give, it doesn't give at all, it still feels soft. And it's super malleable, super bendable, and it just goes back into the shape that you had that it's supposed to be in. So it works out really well. This right here is a resin print of the same thing. But the material or the resin that I use for this is called, what is it? Actually, let's go over here and take a look at this real quick. There we go. Perfect. Over there. All right, so take these off here. So this is the resin that I'm using right here. If you guys can see this, can we get a shot of this? It's Sariya Tech Tenacious is the resin that I'm using to make that other one, and it's a yellowish resin. I should have gotten a picture of it, but it's a yellowish resin that you have to put in here. Now, one of the things that I recognize with this particular resin is that it's yellow in the bottle. So when you shake it up, I don't know if you guys saw an Instagram reel I did yesterday, but after shaking this up, there was a lot of yellow particles suspended in this after pouring it in. If you do decide to use something like this, the yellow particles kind of go away. Even the print came out yellow after the print was done, but the yellowing went away after a little bit of time. So after the washing and the curing process, the yellowness was entirely gone. So you will see it in the bottle, you will see it on your prints, but after curing, it won't be a thing at all. Really, really good stuff, I might add. This Sariya Tech Tenacious is easy to print with. Very easy to print with. So a couple of things that I learned about that. Whoops, there we go. A couple of things that I learned about that is that, like I said, it's clearer than the TPU. It's not as hard, or not as soft though. And I wouldn't say the TPU is squishy like I mentioned. So it's not like you press on it and it gives. It's not soft like that. It's just soft to the touch, right? This is a hard material right here, but you can bend it. But it doesn't easily go back into the shape like TPU does. As you can see, it takes a little while to go back into its shape, but it will go back to the shape that it was printed in. So that's a good thing. So the reason why I would go with this over, say, the TPU, or wrong one. The reason why I would go with this over, say, the TPU, which, oh, I thought, what did I do with the TPU? Holy cow. All right, well, the TPU is, oh, there it is. It's under the laptop. So the reason why I would go with something like the Tenacious clear resin, the flexible clear resin over the TPU would be because of the clarity, how clear the prints come out, and also how smooth the surface of the print came out. It came out really nice. Like the smoothness is really good. Even the angle here and you can see, like I said, the prints come out yellow, but as you can see, there's no yellowing on this print right here. So that goes away if you ever decide to use this. It really worried me when I first saw it, but yeah, it's not a thing. So the edges here are super sharp, and I really do like that. And it's a way more gradual angle here that feels a lot better to the hand. So that's the point. So if I were to go with this, it would be because over the TPU, it would be because of the smoothness of the surface, the ability to see through it, and the angles just came out so much smoother. And the line height for this was almost double the line height for this, and it still came out smoother. So yeah, Tenacious for the win. I'm definitely going to go with the Tenacious for the bumper on the Manta spine, and I think I'm going to try to do these. I tried to make some prints for the tablet feet as well. So what we got here? So this is, do I have an old one? Oh yeah, I do. All right, so this is an old one here. This is an old tablet foot, if you will. Can I put this in here? Actually, can I pull this down? There we go. Even better. So this is an older one that I pulled off of a tablet that I had it on. Not bad. Not bad. Really good shape to this particular print. It's not smooth though, and it sounds hard. Like if you listen to it, let's take the mic down here. So that's me rubbing the TPU tablet foot against the table. So that's how it sounds. So it sounds really hard. This we won't go with that one. different. Okay, here we go. So this is one of the latest ones I pulled out or made from the actual Tenacious. So this is the same print made with the Tenacious resin print from the Elegoo printer. And let's hear how this sounds. Now, like I said before, this doesn't feel softer than the TPU when I was doing the bumper, but these feet definitely feel softer than the TPU. So the Tenacious is winning in every front with the feet. It's softer, it feels softer, it's clear, and it doesn't make that harsh sound when you're rubbing it on a surface. So let's check out the Tenacious rubbing it on a surface. A lot less abrasive than this. You see what I mean? A lot less abrasive. So, yeah, I think the Tenacious is winning the battle for me for all of my softer material print needs. I think it's just gonna be. I think it's gonna work out really well. The clearness of it, the soft feel, all of those things. The softness of it, all of those things play a part in me wanting to use that to make it look so much better. It's like night and day, chat. Night and day. Like I almost want to use my filament just for prototyping and then use the resin for manufacturing or final products. Let's go to the chat real quick. Definition exists, says The Rock. Most people would probably still agree. There is a vocal minority that have no trust of expert knowledge, though. Block them out. I'm trying to. It's hard, though. They're becoming the minority, The Rock. I'm not going to lie to you. They're becoming the minority very quickly. The Rock says, what will help clear prints look is looking at infill, either really low and Z cube or 100%. Well, see, the thing for me with the print, so what I had been researching for 3D prints especially for this right here, and this is the TPU print I was showing. So what I was looking at for this print to get the inside a little more clear and see-through, and it did work. It just nowhere near to the level of this though, but it did work. It was I read that making the infill trilinear. Let me look at that. Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that up. So I don't have the software up right now. But from what I got from my research is that one way to make filament more transparent is to use oh my goodness. Now I can't think of what the pattern is, but there's a particular pattern that they wanted you to use for the bottom and top of the surface and for the infill to get a more see-through effect. That helped. It did help. It became more see-through, but yeah, like I said, nowhere near to the level. Nowhere near to the level of this though. I mean, it could not rise to this level of see-through. Like we can see my finger under this thing. Yeah, it doesn't rise to the level of this see-through. Parmesan says, is there a material you could print the feet out of that would make them grip? Yes. See, that's what the next test is. So my next very good question, Parmesan. So my next venture for the printing is to see if I can find a material that works like rubber. That's the goal. I want to find the most rubber-like material that I can resin print with. I think I have a candidate, so I'm going to buy a couple of different types to see which one I think works best. But from my research, there's an A value on resins that tell you their tackiness, I guess we can call it. Because it's not softness, because these are technically considered soft. It's not flexibleness, because these are flexible, but they're not cushiony, you know? So that's what I'm looking for. The Rock says, if you're looking for a non-slip, I'd probably just cut feet out of rubber contact sheet. Well, see, the thing is, let me show you something that I don't even have it. I took it off. This is the closest thing I can think of is what Supernote does here with the Manta. This material right here, it's soft, it's flexible, but it also has some tack, right? So I'm looking for this kind of material. That would whoops. That would be the ideal solution, The Rock. I can see the infill in there and it's clouding the view. Try 100%. Okay. Yeah, I will try a few different settings. The resin print looks 100 too. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Well, as far as the infill goes, yeah, I could take the infill down on both. I did that on a test of this. I cut the infill. The infill of this is only 15%, so this is only a 15% infill. I took that infill down to 5%. And when I did that, it did feel squishy, but it didn't look any clearer. And the structure was just atrocious. Like as soon as I pushed on it, it did feel squishy, but you know, after like giving the whole thing a press, it started to crack. The surfaces started to crack because there was not enough infill to keep the structure. So yeah, this is only 15% infill right here. Only 15%. And this is how it looks with the 15% infill. Like I said, the 10, oh my goodness. Matter of fact, I can grab the 10. Like I did tons of these. And I numbered them. I can feel which ones was the 0 infill one though. Oh, here we go. This is one of them right here. Now this one feels super squishy. But you can see that line right there where because there's not enough infill, there's gaps. And that gap creates the cushiony feel, but it also makes it so that actually this one doesn't collapse so easily. This one's not bad. This is actually not, it doesn't look good. But this one's not actually bad, but it doesn't look good. Let me find that one where it just like totally collapses. Oh, here we go. This is the one that totally collapsed on me. So after taking the infill down to 0, it just created a shell essentially, and then that shell just kind of like you can see here that shell just started to collapse from the top down, and then it just fell apart. So 15% infill still doesn't help the situation at all. It didn't help the situation at all. But I mean, I'm still learning. I'm trying a few things, and I'm still learning processes and still learning settings and kind of what they do to the overall process. But yeah, I'm going to talk more about the process of the resin printing and what I learned with that later on in the week. All right, I think that's it. But The Rock, thank you for the detail there. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna definitely try some more infill techniques and see if that works out for me. I mean, it's gonna be a long haul, and like I said, for someone coming from learning, I knew nothing about 3D printing 6 months ago, and I'm learning so much within the 6 months, and not just 3D printing, filament and resin. And this X tool machine over here, I'm having to learn, which that's not that bad. It's been pretty good learning that one. All right, everyone, that's gonna be the show for today. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with this almost 2-hour show today. Rants About Tech live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. I appreciate you guys joining me. Give me a like if you're still here for the show. Subscribe if you want to see more of the show, because we're going to be doing more of this, and that helps me out know how good we did and how good we did not do. I'm bringing some new features to the show this week, so we're going to be trying a few new things. Again, the call-in feature is going to be open. If you have a question, you'll be able to call into the show via Discord and get live on the air and ask your question, leave your comment, all that good stuff. So don't forget about that. And again, thank you guys for being here. And until tomorrow, you guys take care. See you then. Peace.